Hi everyone, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to dive right into your reading today. I do like to start my readings by thanking all of you who have been watching, liking, sharing, subscribing to, commenting on my videos. I do really appreciate your support. It really makes a huge difference and it means a lot to me. I also want to thank you guys. So many of you have written so many beautiful comments and even sent me emails. And I just want you to know that I read them all. I do not always respond. In fact, I'm kind of bad about responding. I have two phones and only one of them has access to respond to comments. The other one, I have to log on like I'm you, like a viewer. And I can't comment using my business account, and I just do that because if I didn't, I would be working and checking my channel all the time. So I can only check it when I'm home, and that's why I read them and I don't heart them or comment to them, but I do read them. And so it's only when I read them when I'm at home that I like them and comment and respond back. So anyway, you guys, I just wanted to let you know that. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am really happy to have you here as well. And I hope that you find a message that resonates with you, and that if you do, you'll hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey. All right, everyone, here we go. What do we need to know for Pisces today, please, Spirit? What does Pisces need to know? Just keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? Wow, oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I love this energy. You know, oh man. Pisces, our obstacles in life and our challenges in life often are what really help us to really see and understand what we're made of, what we're capable of, how strong we actually are. And, with this mountain card, and it's just mountains in tarot always represent obstacles, challenges, things like that, something that we need to overcome. And, Pisces, I feel like you have been through a cycle of really climbing, of really some challenging terrain. And you can see it's like you have this snowy, rocky, it looks really hard to traverse kind of terrain here. And on this dawn, it looks like you could just lay down and roll down the hill. You know what I mean? And it's lush and it's green and the sun is shining on it and it feels warm and it feels full of life. And, it's a very different energy that you are leaving to move into something, a new experience, a different experience, one that is definitely more effortless. And, waterfalls to me always represent floods of emotion. And for whatever reason, I'm really drawn to, there's just this one tree on right here. It feels like there is someone either coming in or someone who is there or someone who has been there or something that is kind of growing. And it feels like to me with this waterfall that there is possibly a rush of emotion or even possibly like an emotional reveal or it can even be like a situation with someone where you just find that organically even it's sort of just moving toward a stage of greater and greater emotion or but it doesn't feel like emotional upheaval or anything. It just feels like something that is developing, something that is growing, something that is transforming. And it feels like it's not just physical, it's not just flirtatious, it's not, it's not common is what I'm getting. It's someone who has unpacked and is trying to stay in your life. You know, it's someone who's trying to put roots down. It's someone who, you know, I don't know how this is, I don't know what part of this I'm supposed to be focused on, but the messaging that I'm getting is I'm seeing the roots growing under the ground. And it's like, you know, it's like, it may even be something that you're not completely aware of, how deeply entrenched this person is becoming in your life, maybe even in your daily life. But it's kind of like that person that you know, when something happens in your day, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go tell this person. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where it's like, maybe at first you just don't realize that those little things, those little thoughts or those little whatevers are actually significant, signifying like how deeply this person is actually entwining with your spirit, your soul, with your, I just keep getting like your day. It's like it happens without it having a lot of fanfare, or it's just, it's like it's happening a little bit at a time. Like roots don't just spring out of a tree, you know what I mean? It's like something that takes time to develop, and it's a complicated, complex network. And it's also like something where it's developing in a lot of different directions at the same time. It's like you may eat with this person, you may like, I really wish I could figure out how to say what it is that I'm feeling, but it's like these things may seem insignificant, but they're sort of adding up, or they're sort of, it's like growing a root. And there's like, I keep getting like a wellspring. I don't even know what a wellspring is or what that even really actually means, but it's like there is this, you know, that waterfall is happening above ground, and it's oh god, it's feeling like there are all these small things that are adding up that we're not seeing, that it's like there is almost this moment of realization, or there's almost this moment of like a surge of, wow, understanding what this person means to you, or even understanding what it means to you that they have become so entwined or have become so deeply a part of your daily life. Yeah, I think that's as good as I can get to sort of say. Let's see what else we get here. And it's like you have found your own strength, and possibly this person has found their own strength as well through something that was really challenging, or maybe even relationships that were really challenging, but maybe this connection with each other feels much more effortless, like it's just sort of happening without you even noticing it, both of you, without a ton of effort, without a ton of complicated, challenging energies. Okay, you've got communication on the bottom of the deck. You've got wild card. Oh, okay. Wow, you have ego and robotic in reverse. Oh my. Wow, with the connection upright. These fell out in reverse, and I was going to put them upright, and it was like, no. Wow. This feels like a masculine energy that sort of, it's like someone I feel who's pretty confident, or someone who's pretty sure of themselves, but they're also a bit robotic. They also, they may not have a ton of emotional fulfillment in their life. It's sort of like, I know what's expected of me. I know what role I'm supposed to play, and I play it really well. And because I play it really well, I have this confidence or this like ego, like I know that I'm a catch, or I know that I want to say like I know what I'm bringing to the table, but it's like it's all kind of superficial, I'm not gonna lie. It's just like I know how to maybe be the boyfriend, or I know how to maybe, you know, impress your parents, or I know how to play the game sort of energy. I'm really good at it. And that may have been enough in the past. But this is a love connection. This is something different. This is something unusual. This is like the jackpot. And this is a 5 card. And it's about change, and it's like this connection is bringing about change. And this is the red string of fate, guys. So this is like a definitely like a destined, meant to be kind of situation. This person, there may be a heavy emphasis on communication now. This person may be communicating more than they may have ever in a past relationship. Yeah, look at that fate underneath the connection. I mean, communication. There's a greater purpose for this. There's a reason for this. It's almost like, I feel the visual I'm getting is like, is it the David statue? I don't know. But like kind of bursting forth out of the granite rather than like being carved into the granite. It's like I'm breaking off all the excess granite, and then what is left is this gorgeous statue. It's like vulnerable and naked. Okay, I'm getting a heavy emphasis on naked, which, you know, like in the star card, in the cards in tarot, the nakedness is symbolic of vulnerability, exposure, honesty, truth, authenticity. What was always underneath is what I'm getting also. So this relationship is definitely calling someone into sort of a transformative process that was always there, or they may be digging deep or figuring out something that was always there. But again, this doesn't feel, it may be challenging on some level, right? But it also feels kind of effortless. It's like if this person were to set about changing this on their own, I feel like it would be just grueling. I feel like very few people would even be able to cross the finish line, because it would be so grueling a process to deprogram the self, you know, in this way from this, because it feels deeply entrenched. But because it's almost like this person doesn't even realize it's happening, that they're sort of releasing this, that they're letting this go, that they're finding something deeper within themselves. And they may even, there's not a ton of satisfaction in being a robot, right? It's like the satisfaction comes from playing the part well, but when you're not in the arena playing the part or whatever, it's lonely and empty, and that's 90% of the time, you know what I mean? So there's just this energy here of almost like warmth coming into someone who's been a bit cold and a bit robotic, kind of done what was expected of them. And it's like it's releasing within this person this emotionality, this authenticity, this space that was always there, but it didn't have anywhere to be appreciated. It didn't have anywhere to flow. And it's like now it's in this, through this connection and through, it seems like maybe a lot of communication. There could be a distance. This is like electronic voice signature or whatever, these blue things. So it may be like over the phone or over like through technology, like you may be at a distance from each other. Interesting that connection comes up, and I was guided to get these divinely guided messages of love cards. So let's see what this is. It's almost like, and I feel this person doesn't want to lose this now. It's taking them by surprise. It's something they didn't expect. Mm-hmm. You're getting self-love. I'm still trying to heal. So this person is still working through this energy. You have ego. I let my pride get in the way of our connection. And you have sabotage. I mess up the good things in my life sometimes. On the bottom of the deck, you have disagreements. But what is more important to me is that it says, I wish you understood how I feel. And I will say, disagreements are not bad, right? We're different people. We're fundamentally going to see things differently at times. Disagreements are actually opportunities to really understand someone else better. It's kind of like we can understand the antagonist in a story better because there's a protagonist in the story. God, how do I want to say it? It's like through friction, sometimes you can understand what doesn't work, or where a challenge exists, or it's not even that. It's like it's a deeper opportunity for deeper understanding of the other one and how they work and how they see things. If we only agree, then I can only assume that you see things exactly the same way I do, and there's no way that's possible because we're different. First of all, and second of all, we've had different experiences that have led us to this point, and our experiences are what help us shape and form the way that we see things. And so because there's no way we have led the exact same life or had the exact same experiences, and we are not the exact same person, there's no way that we're going to agree on everything. So a disagreement in and of itself isn't bad, right? It's when we can't resolve it or when we can't dive into it to find the gift in it. And sometimes when ego and when we're just going to say ego, when ego and pride, okay, I'll say that's what I think I was going for, are involved, a lot of times we shut down and we cannot find the gift because we're too busy protecting our pride and our ego and getting defensive. And so if this person was kind of going about robotic and just really the purpose of their existence up until this point was sort of just playing a role and, coming off appearing as the good person or coming off appearing in a certain way, whatever was expected of them, and they did it to a T and they were really good at it, it may be incredibly hard for them to even break down their defenses to this space of being able to find the gift in the disagreement. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's that energy of like needing to be right. But because this person actually cares so much about the outcome of this relationship, or cares so much about not losing this relationship or this opportunity to sort of feel, have feelings, it feels like, they are stretching themselves. They are challenging. They're being pushed in directions that make them kind of uncomfortable. And they're positions that I think this person has faced in the past, but hasn't been able to really open up to them, or hasn't been able to really see it as a gift. But here, because they're so invested, is what it kind of really feels like. They are more sort of even like curious or wanting to understand the other person's perspective, and through that means they are actually releasing bits of their ego, or kind of letting down this wall or this barrier of needing to be perfect. It's a really kind of a big transformation, and this is what this has this, your ego and your pride do sabotage your relationships. They only let your ego and your pride only allow you to get so deep with people, because you can't, there's a limit to the level of intimacy you can experience and vulnerability you can experience when your ego and your pride are first and foremost. When how you appear and what you look like matter more to you than the real substance there. So there's something here where through this communication and through being different people and seeking to understand the other person, and it may be Pisces that you're seeking to understand them, and so then, then it's almost like in order for them to be the mirror back to you, they have to seek to understand you. And this may be very, very different than anything they've ever experienced. They may have dated people in the past or had many relationships with people in the past who also were very egoic and prideful. And so that's what was mirrored back. So it was kind of this, what matters is who wins the argument, not whether or not we come to an understanding, a deeper understanding of the other, right? And it's interesting because when you're seeking so much to love another person, or, it's not even like love, but it's even like acceptance, right? Of the other person and their point of view, because you don't want to be without this person, right? That seeking to accept them helps you to seek to accept yourself and your own shortcomings. It gives you a space and a freedom to sort of feel those things for yourself. When you can't feel those things for other people, and you haven't been given permission to feel those things about yourself by, your parents, society, whatever, you don't, and so how can you do it for the other? It's like what you do for yourself, you're able to do for the other. What you can't do for yourself, you can't do for the other. So it's like there is this person that is and I think it's you, Pisces, that is so, I think you're a bit of an enigma, a bit of a wild card. I think that they're never quite sure. And in order to try to understand, or in order to try to get to know you on a deeper level, this person is, and they're almost like into this place where it's like, as I accept Pisces, I accept myself. And as Pisces accepts me, it gives me permission to be more myself. And so there's this real shedding of a skin and this real stepping into a braver, more authentic, vulnerable energy here that's happening, I think, within the masculine through this connection, which seems there's just things being communicated here that are very real. Having the weirdest messages come through when I'm shuffling these days. It's very interesting. Just about like it's not, you haven't shuffled enough. You need to shuffle some more. Don't take that card, Yeah. Wow. This person is, wow. I mean, you got the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck here, the Page of Cups and the Six of Wands. This person, it's like, when you're dealing with the Page of Cups, right? Wow. When you're dealing with the Page of Cups, when you're dealing with the Queen of Swords, right, there's an energy of, the Queen of Swords can spot bullshit a mile away. And the Queen of Swords may look at you and say, wow, you are really playing that role well. But if that isn't something that the Queen of Swords is interested in having in their life, they're not going to have it. They're not just going to be like, oh, wow, you're doing a really good job playing that role. I'm going to let you into my life. You know what I mean? A Queen of Swords is kind of like no BS. Like, I've seen it all. I've done it all. Like, I know where that's going to lead. I know where that's going to lead. I've been heartbroken. I've been betrayed. I've been backstabbed. I've learned my lessons, and I'm not interested in learning them again. I'm the queen for a reason, And so, it's kind of one of those things where a queen the Queen of Swords has her hand open like this, but then in the other hand, she's holding the sword, right? And so there's this energy of like, I'll listen to you. I will let you hold court here. But if you don't say something interesting to me, or if you are not coming at me in a way that is, in alignment with me and my truth, then, you know, I only have a limited amount of, you know, kind of tolerance level for it is sort of how it's coming through. And so it's like this masculine knows they don't have the Queen of Swords attention forever, right? And so it's almost like bringing about a rapid sort of transformation as this masculine is trying to figure out how to kind of unlock this Queen of Swords and like get inside and not get cut off. And so with the Page of Cups and the Six of Wands, this is like the Queen of Swords sort of acknowledging and recognizing every time the masculine is emotional, is authentic, is speaking from their actual true heart, and is hearing them from their, you know, through their heart space, is accepting of this watery nature of the Queen of Swords, you know. I don't know, like that's just what's coming through, guys. So there's just, it's like almost like training this person to become more vulnerable, or that is what I'm really looking for, is honesty and truth of the heart space, not like what you can say that will impress me, not what you can do that, you know, is accepted by society. You know, it's like, I want your truth. I want to know who you actually really are. And that's the price of doing business here. And so this masculine who has relied on sort of being charming and charismatic and sort of getting in and getting out of situations before people have a chance to sort of get them to dive deeper, you know, this masculine is having to sort of come to a place of peace and acceptance with this part of themselves, you know. With the Four of Cups, you know, this masculine's been bored and discontent. This masculine hasn't really found anything in life that is just so overwhelmingly interesting or exciting or inspiring that they are, you know, that they have moved toward greater fulfillment themselves. They just haven't. They've been very bored and discontent. And I think, you know, this masculine may have even been someone who sort of either felt rejected in large part by people, you know, or like, how do I want to say? It's not really that. They may have actually rejected other people, to be honest with you. But it's like, if I were to show my authenticity, that's not what people want. People don't want my authenticity. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, you know, I've tried to offer authenticity to people in the past once or twice, or a little bit here or a little bit there, and that's not what people were looking for. They turned away from me. But when I show up the Knight of Wands and I'm all enthusiastic and attractive and I smell good and I look good and I say the right things and you know, and I'm a lot of fun for a night, people really like me. People keep me around, you know. So that's how I've sort of really developed this muscle, possibly, you know. But they're really having to, with the Hermit and the Six of Swords here, there's an energy of like, I have to really ask myself, what do I want? And I have to come to a place of peace with what has been and where I need to go in order to have what it is I actually really want. So first I have to acknowledge and admit that I haven't really been very happy or very inspired by the results I've gotten as the Knight of Wands. And I also have to admit and acknowledge that, you know, maybe what I really want, what my wish fulfillment is Pisces, or is this feeling of emotionality that just sort of how happens organically, where it's like I can actually feel like I can be myself. And not only do I feel like I can be myself, but I feel that I actually am rewarded for being myself when I'm in the presence. And that is fulfilling, you know, that actually makes me feel better about myself, about my truth, about who I actually really am at the core of the core of the core. The wellspring, I keep getting this wellspring. What is it? I have to Google it because I don't know, it just keeps coming up and I don't know what it is. Is that something that comes up from the inside? A source of continual supply. A wellspring of information. Huh. I don't know, you guys. A continuous source of supply. Oh, the more that I tap into it, the more it's just always there. It's always now. It's like it's a part of me. It's something that is just sort of happening, possibly. Something that I'm just able to tap into. Whenever we're loved genuinely for who we really are, not for how well we're playing a part, it's a much more fulfilling experience, right? You know, because sometimes when we're playing a part and we get well loved for that, it's not even actually like well loved for that. It's more of, wow, I just saw the Six of Cups flash. It's more of just like, oh, yeah. You guys with your Three of Cups energy. Yeah. This is tricky for this masculine. This like being in their authenticity, this kind of, you know, continuously sort of trying to tap into their authentic self. How do I really feel about this? Like even asking themselves that question. They know how their character or, you know, how whatever feels about it. They know what the right answer is there. But when I tap into on a deeper level, or I tune into myself on a deeper level, it may even be that the experience of being in this relationship is causing this person to, it's like look at and evaluate all the ways in which kind of they have sort of been misaligned. You know, our misalignments are, I could tell such a story right here, but, well, I will just tell it. And you know what? Screw anybody who's going to make this political, because it's not political. And I say that every time that I say anything that even touches or comes around politics. It is not political. Please do not make a comment. If you make a comment about what I'm about to say, I am going to delete it and you will no longer be able to make comments on my channel, period, end of story. I'm using this as an illustration and illustration only. I'm not saying what is right or what is wrong or what you should do or what you shouldn't do. I was raised in a very conservative Republican household that was extremely entitled and, you know, like, a lot of people in the military, a lot of, you know, a lot of, you know, money and stuff like that. Anyway, I didn't ever really evaluate whether I was a Republican or a Democrat. I just thought I was a Republican because, well, I was in a way almost kind of brainwashed. Really, it wasn't something you thought about or that you talked about why or whatever. It's just like, this is right and that is wrong and you're a Republican. So I never thought about it. And one day, my best friend's daughter, we were having pizza, and she said to me, you know, I know you think you're a Republican, but I know you really well. I've known you for a long time, and you're not a Republican. Nothing at all in your life aligns with being a Republican. And she was like, she had just turned 18. And had taken this quiz about like, are you Republican or are you Democrat? You answer all these questions and then at the end it says you're this percent or whatever. So I did it and I was very, very, very much like 92% a Democrat, and I almost died. I was like, this thing is wrong, like da 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 da. But what happened was it caused me to go, wait, does a possibility even exist that I may just think I'm a Republican, but I'm actually not a Republican? Like, have I ever really deeply evaluated this? Have I ever really asked myself this question? Do I need to actually look at this? And so I did. So I started reading the platforms. I started reading all this, you know, like my local candidates, the candidates on a national level. Like I started going to their websites, I started researching, I started looking at how people voted, what they voted for, asking myself what my priorities were, you know, da 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 da. And I'm not going to say, you know, where I ended up, because it is not important. But what is important is the process of kind of really thinking that you are something, and that you are so much something that you wouldn't even question it, that like it's already been decided and discovered, and you already know, and like there's right and there's wrong, and you're right, and so why would you even look at that? But through that process, first of all, I learned a lot about politics. Secondly, I learned a lot about the candidates. But thirdly, I learned a lot about myself and what is really important to me, and what is important to me about society and community, and the kind of community I want to live in, and the kind of community I want to be a part of, and what part I want to play in that community, and what gifts I have to bring to that community, and how can I best give them. And it was life-changing. Honest to God, it was life-changing. And you know, I started volunteering. I started volunteering with homelessness, which is like really intense here in Central Florida. If you guys saw the movie The Florida Project, I started doing like a lot of stuff. And it brought me closer to my soul path. It brought me closer to my purpose, because it was in alignment with me. And that's exactly the energy that I'm seeing here with this masculine, where the masculine is like, well, you know, I was raised to play this part, or I was raised to be this person, or I didn't ever really question whether or not it was good or bad. It was like, I'm really good at this. I get a lot of praise and recognition for being good at this. You know, I haven't really asked myself, you know, is this in alignment with me, or is this fulfilling me, or is this what I really want in my life? It's just that like this is who I'm supposed to be, or what I'm supposed to do, or what I've always done. And this being challenged, or even it's not even being challenged, it's being rewarded for being closer to our authenticity. The more we step closer to our authenticity, and we can only do that really by questioning ourselves, is, you know, it will be rewarded. It's going to be rewarded by people who are also authentic and are also seeking authentic people. But it will also be rewarded by the universe, and by, you know, there will be more opportunities that spring forth from, you know, that space, right? And so this is like with this masculine, it's like, you know, it's never easy. It certainly was not easy for me to like realize, to like kind of wake up and have this moment where I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not who I thought I was. Ironically, the same thing happened when my brother did Ancestry.com. We always thought we were like very, very German. And we found out that we're in fact like 2% German or something. Like we thought that it was like 90%. Like we just thought we were so German. And because we're all very, very tall, I guess, I'm not sure. And I don't know. There were other things, obviously, last names and stuff like that, but no, it just like we're not German, like no. And it was just crazy. It was like, what? So yeah, and we found out like we were a lot Scandinavian, like we were a lot like other things that was just very, it was just, I don't know. And I was kind of sad that I didn't know that my whole life, and that I wasn't celebrating that my whole life, you know. But I celebrate all of it. I'm everything and I love it. But the thing is that this is something where it's like kind of a wake-up call for this masculine, where they're like, man, a lot of things that I thought were really true, or a lot of things that I thought that I had really figured out about life, or that I thought that it was like I was just going to be like this forever, or I didn't even really think about it or question whether there was a different way of being. I'm starting to understand all the ways in which I was abandoning myself, and I was actually sabotaging myself and my own self-development and my own opportunity to be my most authentic self, or to step into the area of self-fulfillment, you know, or of feeling fulfilled as a person, even on a deeper level, with this Seven of Swords. And, you know, this masculine is also, I think there's someone who kind of had relationships based on attraction, maybe physical attraction, and really ended up being very disappointed like all the time with these kind of relationships. It's like maybe it was good for a while, but then, you know, I think it sort of fell apart, or they ended up being very disappointed in the person that they had chosen, like, and kind of maybe even feeling that they weren't who they thought they were to begin with. And I think that's more about also sort of uncovering that we are not who we think we are to begin with sometimes. And it's a reflection of that, a reflection point of that, you know? And so I think with this, with you, Pisces, it's like this person is seeing like, whoa, this is a deep soul connection. This is bringing about transformation and change and evolution within me. And with the Queen of Cups, it's coming through real love and real, and the unconditionality of it, of, you know, I don't need you to play a role. I need you to show me who you really are. I need to discover all of the beauty that exists in your uniqueness, you know, and I am offering you the same in return here with this Queen of Cups. And then you've got this Three of Cups on the bottom of the deck, which is the celebration almost of like when you come together, when you are there and I am there and we are there together, you know, what is really possible. And it's a very deep, there's a very deep, this is the type of partnership where it is me and you against the world. Not me against you, but me and you almost seamlessly, almost as one, against everything else out there that would seek to bring us down. It's a different level, a different kind of partnership than this masculine has ever had before. It's a kind of partnership that can only come through this energy of being very, very real. Here's that Six of Cups. That definitely has been wanting to come out. You know, wow, and look at this. There's, you know, isn't it the frog? You kiss a frog and it becomes a prince. It's that same energy. I'm seeing that whole David bursting out of the block of stone again. It's like you saw me in this way and you were not this way. You knew the truth. You had already discovered the truth. My God, look at this truth. Oh my God, you guys, this is like hitting me in the heart chakra for real. Like hard. Ooh, Lord, man. This is like, okay, you saw in me something I didn't even see in myself. And you offered me, you gave me this opportunity. You see, even here, remember how I showed you the hands of the Queen of Swords? You see her hands right here? They're like the hands of the Queen of Swords. And it's like, you know, as long as you are giving me truth, as long as you are giving me your authenticity, I don't care if you're a frog. I don't even need you to be a prince. I don't need you to be that egoic, robotic self. I want to see your truth. I want to see who you really are. And I'll be accepting and I'll be loving and I'll be here, but I am authentic. And so in order to be a frequential match for me, in order to harmonize with me, in order to come into union with me, I need you to be your authentic self and not be afraid of it and not be worried that I'll reject it. Because as long as you are your authentic self, I will always accept it. Wow. Because this feminine has already learned the truth. The feminine has already gone through the transformation. The feminine already knows the joy and the success and the opportunity and the recognition and just everything that comes from being your honest, true self. And the emotional fulfillment that comes from being your honest, true self. And this feminine with the Page of Swords has seen something in this masculine that where she just knows. She knows that if this masculine can stay in this authenticity, can stay in this energy of vulnerability, then they can have success, they can have victory. And there's a lot of communication here. Ace of Swords, communication, and it's even maybe around what really makes you happy, what really makes you feel whole and heard and seen. Or maybe it's the experience of being whole and heard and seen for your truth that brings about this recognition. Like I was saying earlier, nothing feels better than being loved in your true authenticity. Nothing feels better than that. So with the Seven of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, there's a lot of investing going on between these two people. There's a lot of, okay, you know what, I'm investing, I'm here for you, I'm listening to you, I'm watching this sort of like evolution or transformation take place, I'm watching this thing come into alignment. There's also a lot of patience and waiting. Somebody who's not used to being loved for their authentic self is going to go in and out. They're going to have moments where they want to kind of go back to what is comfortable for them, that robotic, egoic kind of energy. And, there may be moments of exasperation of, oh, I thought we were past this, but now here we go back to that. But there is this energy of, but I'm invested, but you're invested, but we care about the outcome. And this is something that is coming together in divine timing here with the Seven of Pentacles. And it just sort of takes as long as it takes. We plant the seeds over and over and over again. And then they come to harvest, right? Okay. Man, some of you may be dealing with a Leo. You're also getting this heavy emphasis on Cancer again, and you also have the Fool card on the bottom of the deck. The Six of Wands is Leo. You have, like Aquarius, Aries, Cancer, kind of vibes going on here. This feels like a lot of expansion. For some of you, there may be some kind of travel that takes place here with the Chariot and the Six of Wands that helps someone actually realize or recognize or wake up and kind of understand something or the importance of something, or have a real true victory within themselves. It's like the space or the distance or something may wake something up in someone where they have like recognition within themselves of their own success, or how far they've come, or how good this is making them feel, or even how serious their intentions are. Because the Six of Wands started off as a card that really talked about engagement, coming back from war and saying, okay, I've thought about you the whole time I've been at war, and I know you're the one for me, and riding in with a laurel wreath and placing it, giving it to the person that, we want to marry, basically, or spend our life with. So, this can be an internal battle of this person going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But ultimately what I see in these cards is somebody that is going to take a major leap of faith. They're going to leave that robotic, egoic energy behind, and they are going to show up loyal and ready. This is like the beginner's mind. This is like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going all in. I like, it's not the energy of someone who's like, yeah, I'm going to make this much money. I'm going to inherit this much money. I've got this going for me and this going for me. And I know how to say all the right things. I know how to work a room. I've got these friends and these connections and this bullshit and that bullshit. It's like, here I am. I'm stepping up to the plate. I'm offering you my loyalty. I'm offering you true companionship. I'm not coming to the table with much to offer because I haven't been in connections like this before, but I'm ready to go all in. I'm ready to just take the leap of faith. I'm not going to hold back. And this is definitely someone who sees you as an equal partner. And there's definitely some kind of recognition that is making this person spring into action with the intention, very, very focused. You see both of these, the Charioteer and the Six of Wands, they're very, very focused forward toward victory and toward success in this connection. And, it's even striking me that this masculine is riding this white horse. And it's like, I'm leading with the light within myself. I'm leading with the truth within myself. You know what I mean? It is how it's coming across. For Pisces. For Pisces. What do you have for Pisces? No. Let me shuffle. So, okay, you guys are getting the Four of Swords. The Three of Cups. And the Seven of Swords. Here's our frog again. I love these cards. This is a new deck, a newer deck. What is it called? Flower Child Tarot. I love it. There's this energy of trying to keep my mind clear of the things that would have me sabotage myself, that the things that would make me bring on suffering. It's like keeping those three swords of suffering at bay and just holding on to the sword of truth, just holding on to the sword of authenticity and alignment. Because it's like any time that we release that, any time that we let our fear and our ego kind of creep in and say, you know, you're not good enough, that's when we start sabotaging. That's when we start stepping away from our authenticity because we don't think our authenticity measures up. We don't think it's enough. And so there's this energy of like really almost trying to just stay focused inside of being our truth, of staying in our authenticity, staying in our light, and keeping those swords at bay so that we can experience. You've got stars and a rainbow here, you know, that star card energy with the 10 of Cups kind of energy, you know, like, so we can come together and have our wish fulfillment, which is emotional contentment with another person, right? And with this Three of Cups, it's like we have seen, right, with this Three of Cups, this energy of, you know, celebration and coming together. And, you know, the Three of Cups is, you know, I kind of hate that this energy gets really tainted in tarot a lot. I'll see readers, or I'll even talk to readers, and they're like, oh yeah, and then the Three of Cups came up, so you know there's a third party situation. Yeah, no, that's just not the case. It can be, if there's a lot of threes in a reading, that can be a third party situation. But even then, it just means that, to me, it means somebody has a priority that they're putting in front of this relationship or this connection, or in front of you. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's like another person. Now that can be the case, but that's not what I'm getting from this Three of Cups. I'm getting this like purely good energy. And I'm like, good, what is good? You know, I'm getting this energy just of like innocent celebration, of just like, I am nothing but happy. It's that kind of light-hearted energy. And it may be with this particular masculine that they've always had to be serious, or they've always had to have the right answer, or they've always had to know what to say or how to be or what to do, and they couldn't even explore their own feelings. And so it's almost like this is a very cathartic and healing relationship for this person, because they're so used to, you know, kind of having to project something and keep that projection up no matter what, right? And in this connection, they're sort of given this space to sort of heal and to just sort of focus on their truth and not have to worry about keeping up appearances so much. And it's bringing about more of a light-hearted nature. You know, considering you have the Lovers card here and the Six of Cups here, and then you have this Three of Cups energy, it feels very much like there is this almost like return to an inner child, or a return to, you know, it's almost like they skipped a period in their life, you know, like a time in their life where they would have played or been lighthearted, and here they are sort of making up for it in this connection, like having found someone where, you know, when you're kids, like, I don't know if you all had siblings or not, but I had an older sister and a little brother, and I didn't ever really play with my older sister. She was not ever very nice. But my brother was my best friend, and he And we used to do this thing where we'd be like, let's be buddies. And we would like make like a list of things that we were going to play all day. And he had a drum set and I had like an Annie microphone, and we'd be in the basement. We would write our own songs and like perform our own songs. He was obsessed with Bruce Springsteen and Michael Jackson. And so like we would just play for the sake of playing and let our imaginations run wild. And for that period of time that, you know, we were together and we were doing that, it was like we were living out some dream. We were living out some fantasy where I was like Stevie Nicks and he was like Bruce Springsteen, you know what I mean? And it almost feels like this masculine is sort of getting this chance to like sort of have those moments of pure unbridled joy where you can be whoever you want to be, or you can or you can be yourself. And that is enough, and that is good enough, and it's more than good enough. It's worth celebrating, and it's worth exploring, and it's worth enjoying. And that is a very cathartic healing process that in and of itself almost keeps those three swords at bay, right? And so, yeah, it's like I get to be myself and I get to be in control here now of these seven swords that at one point, you know, had me feeling like I couldn't be my authentic self. It's very interesting. Okay. There are those three swords. Oh, wow. Yeah. See, this person, through this experience of healing, through this experience of actually getting to kind of have this like playtime or this like sort of almost like lighthearted spirit, this person is reflecting back on the past and even able to sort of see what they missed or how that has actually affected them, or how that has maybe even stunted their growth or stunted their ability to experience fulfillment on their own, how it has actually led to a lot of suffering and a lot of heartbreak. Wow, with the Star card underneath it, you guys. And this energy of learning how to be vulnerable, learning how to be naked, is healing this person. And it's faded. It's almost like this person has lived life somewhat in reverse, or you know, is getting like a second lease on life, or a new opportunity to do something over again, or it's like is finding out that it's never too late to play or to have fun or something. And with this Seven of Wands here, this person is really fighting for this. This person is protecting this. This person is like, yeah, I'll do anything to protect this. You know, I keep getting this feeling of, you know, it's not the relationship that is actually the challenge. It's not the challenge is not letting anything penetrate it, not letting anything get in there and mess it up. You know, a boat sinks because it takes on water. It doesn't just sink, right? And so it's like trying to protect the ship of the relationship from taking on water, or from, you know, having anything come in and sink it. It's like, no, this thing means everything to me. This opportunity means everything to me. I have to protect it. I have to fight for it. And they may even feel like they've worked really hard to sort of get to this place where they can. Wow. You're getting the Emperor. Jeez, and Judgment. Wow, with the Two of Wands. Yeah, this person, you know, you've got Aries and Scorpio energy here. This is like, this really is transformative for this person. This person is rising above any kind of experience that they have really ever had in the past, and they're actually stepping into their true power. It's almost like realizing, you know, a lot of times the Emperor energy comes out as a projection. It's like someone who's actually very insecure, but they're really projecting that they kind of have it all together. And I think this person is understanding the difference finally between it being a projection and it being your actual real truth. Of like, no, I actually have it all together, and no, I actually know how to make, you know, prioritize decisions, and I know what is important to me and what is in the highest and best of all. And I'm not, you know, making these decisions to satisfy the people around me, but to live a hollow, empty lifestyle myself. so that other people can be happy or feel good about where I am or who I am. You know what I mean? And this is like a major decision that this person is making and stepping into. With Judgment and the Two of Wands, it's like this person has been at the precipice of this decision maybe for a minute, and they're looking at their future and what they want it to look like and what they want it to be like and to feel like. And I feel like this person, you know, yellow is a color that represents happiness. They're choosing happiness. They're choosing their own self-fulfillment. Wow, with the Ace of Cups underneath it. Yeah, they're definitely going for it. They're prioritizing happiness for sure, I feel. Wow. Yeah, so this person, I feel like they have made a major decision and they're coming in to communicate it for sure. You have the Emperor clarified by the Emperor and the Page of Swords. Some of you are dealing with an Aries. I think I said that. Wow, holy crap. And then you have the Empress with the Knight of Swords. Yeah, this person is coming in quick. They're realizing, I think, that you are their divine counterpart. I feel like they really want to communicate this. Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, Eight of Wands, all here right now. This is like communicate, 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 communicate. This person has literally, they have observed enough. They have had enough aha moments. This person is sure, and they have stepped into a legitimately powerful version of themselves that is able to make decisions that they couldn't make before. That weren't in alignment with their misalignment. And so now they're in alignment. So now they can make these decisions. And you see he's got this sword in his hand. And it almost feels like he has disarmed the Queen of Swords. He has taken her sword and he has gotten in. And in the process of disarming this Queen of Swords, he has learned a shit ton about himself. And now what is being revealed is that it wasn't the Queen of Swords at all. Underneath it all, she was the Empress. And he's coming in to speak his truth. He's coming in to tell her just exactly what he has discovered. A serious communication here. Definitely, there may even be a period of silence or a period of kind of withdrawal, or where this person sort of pulls back for a hot second. And I think it's to touch base with themselves and you know, what it is that what is truly their wishes. You know, they're looking at their future, they're looking at everything, and then they're coming in very determined to talk, very determined to say, this is what you have meant for me, this is what you have given me, this is what you have shown me, and I'm ready to live our truth as divine masculine and divine feminine here. So, Pisces, just another reading here that is very wild and deep and crazy and hits me in the heart chakra big time. So, okay, guys, let's see. If you're dealing with a water sign, you're getting I get jealous, I'm sorry, magic connection, sexually need you. If you are dealing with a fire sign, okay, you're getting drop the fucking ego, I'm hurt with you, desire on fire, and you still haunt me. If you are dealing with an earth sign, you are getting I'm not ready, stalking your social media, praying for us, can't sleep with you on my mind. And if you are dealing with an air sign, all right, you are getting I've been thinking about you. Don't lose hope. Please reach out one step at a time. Miss your hugs and kisses. All right, guys. Wow, what a reading. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. The ways in which we unlock ourselves and each other to our deeper truths and through relationships with ourselves and with others. Like, here it is, painted with a very broad brush, but pretty beautiful and pretty amazing. And whew, my heart chakra's got to recover. So I'm going to leave you here, you guys, and I'm going to thank you for joining me, and I'm going to send you off, as always, with all my very best. Always, always, always. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.